Okay. I hope it's... I mean, the fucking bitrate is like all over the place. I don't know what's causing that. I'm just gonna have to trust that we can go through with it. January 1st, 1848. The Chateau Crenay of Baron Rougua. That's probably butchered pronunciation, but whatever. Is that Monsieur Grenouille? Oh mon Dieu. Dame Cataline, what have you done? Act 1. A Cat with Claws. It's midday already. Where on earth is that featherhead? Well, well, well. Look who finally decided to get up. Haven't you heard what they say about the early bird falcon?
Too early for worms. Pass the Cabernet Sauvignon.
There'll be time for that later. We've got some business to handle first.
Business?
A letter arrived while you were sleeping. I haven't opened it yet.
It's probably just more junk mail. Go ahead, Sparrowson. You may have the honors.
All right. Ahem. Dear Monsieur Falcon, I am writing you today because my daughter, Dame Cataline, has been arrested for a crime she did not commit. She is being held at La Concierge prison for the charge of murder, no less. Her trial is in 3 days' time. I would be greatly in your debt if you would offer her your legal aid. Yours sincerely, Seigneur Poitois Demois of the Demois estate.
Well, this is quite something.
I know! Your first serious client in months.
Not just that. The Demois estate is well known for its exuberant wealth. Even if we cannot do much for Dame Cataline, his lordship would still reward us handsomely for our efforts.
Wow! So I suppose you intend on defending Dame Cataline in court? Well, I hadn't really planned on it.
I think not, Sparrowson. The fate of a fat cat bourgeois is none of my concern. Pass the Cabernet Sauvignon already.
What? With all respect, Falcon, we've been doing nothing for the past 2 weeks. Anything would be better than another day of thumb twiddling.
Still...
Come on! Let's be productive members of society.
No. No, I've made up my mind.
Okay, fine. Can we at least play some cards to pass the time?
Now there's a marvelous idea. But what game? We don't really have enough players for Tap Tarak or Sego.
I know. There's this game I learned at university called Jacques Na.
Jacques Na? That sounds dubious.
No, it's a real game. Let me tell you how it works. You draw cards from this deck to get as close to 21 as possible without going over. Call hit if you want another card, and stand if you don't want any more. You are aiming to get as close to 21 as possible without going over.
Sounds good. Deal me.
Alright. This is the real reason I'm streaming this, is blackjack. So, the truth is, this is Aviary Attorney Blackjack Edition. I'm going to be playing about an hour and a half of blackjack via Aviary Attorney. So I hope you're in for the long haul, folks. 5 off, that's standard hit. Of course, we don't have any other options here. No doubling down or anything of that nature. All right, so we pulled up a 9, 16. 16's a tough spot. It's rough. There's too many cards that could screw me over at this point, so I'm gonna stand. but it's not good because I don't even know what the dealer is showing. So, I guess I stand. What do you think? Are you getting the gist of it?
Not quite. Let's play again. I'm still trying to get a grip on some of the rules. Let's go again.
Okie dokie. Alright, go for 21. Let's see if we can actually do it this time. We started with a 6 again. No, we had 5 last time. That's right. Hit 6. Okay, I'm gonna have to go big here. That's what I'm talking about. What do you think? Are you getting the gist of it? Yeah, I think I've got it.
Yeah, I think I've got a handle on it.
Alright, now we can make this interesting. How do you feel about a little wager?
Sounds good. What do you have in mind? 1 franc per round? 2?
No. I was thinking of something else.
I'm intrigued. Go on.
We play 1 round. If you win... Sorry. If I win, you have to take on Dame Cataline's case.
That sounds like quite a hefty wager. What do I get if I win?
If you win...
I've got it. If I win, you must...
Oh, that's so mean. Yeah, take a vow of silence. Let's do that.
You must take a vow of silence. Not a peep out of you for 1 week.
A whole week? I don't think I can manage a day.
Frankly, I don't think you could manage 5 minutes, but if you manage it, the office would actually be peaceful for a change.
Alright. Let's play. Okay. 4. Alright, we'll hit. 11. 11's pretty good. We can hit and pretty much get anything good here. What? Well, I won. How about that?
What? No way. You cheated. You didn't shuffle those cards properly. Let's go again. 2 out of 3.
How does the American proverb go, Falcon? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
This is my punishment for gambling on a made-up card game, isn't it? Fine, we'll take the case.
Excellent. My derriere was getting tired from all this sitting around. Oh, but I better file away Signor's Damo's letter first. 1 moment, Falcon. Pourtois' letter has been added to your evidence folder. Right over here. Signor Pourtois Damo has requested legal aid for his daughter, Cataline. She's being held at the concierge. I think that's correct. Looks like it's spelled like concierge. So. Yes, I know.
Nah, nearly forgot my wallet. I wouldn't want to lose that.
Again? I recall you losing it at the New Year's party. And at Christmas.
Yes, alright, no need to make a list.
Falcon has picked up his wallet. I have 20 francs. Good.
Let's make a move.
Alright, so of course I'm not actually going to be playing blackjack in the game. Take a hold of areas and no symbol can be visited freely. Awesome. So, that would mean the La Concierge would take a whole day to visit there. The offices where we came from, as doesn't take anything. I mean, we're already there. Falcon, why are we back in your office? We have a case to solve.
I was just procrastinating.
Now stop it. We need to get back to helping Dame Cataline.
Alright, I'm ready. Let's go.
Alright. So, yes, we need to actually go to the concierge. Falcon and Sparrowson step into the stone-cold foyer at the concierge prison. Sullen-faced guards and visitors linger beneath the medieval archways. Ah, the concierge. They say this is the finest prison in the whole of France. The outer walls are impenetrable, the cells are spotless, the guards are well-mannered. What do you want? Good day, monsieur. I'm here to see Dame Cataline Demois. I am due to represent her in court. Ah, you're a lawyer, huh? Fine, fine. Follow me. Well, what are you waiting for? Keep up. Say, my papa hasn't forgotten about me, has he?
Dame Cataline Demois, I presume.
You've arrived. The fantastic lawyer, Monsieur Falcon, and his petite assistant, Sparrowson. Milady is knowledgeable.
Don't talk like that, Sparrowson.
Sorry. My papa told me that he would only hire the best lawyers in town.
I'm flattered.
But they weren't available at such short notice, so he hired the first people in the address directory.
Oh.
You see, Falcon, I told you listing under Aviary Attorney would pay off.
Let's get down to business. Dame Cataline, could you fill us in on some details? Your father's letter was a little brief.
I can do my best. What is it you wanted to know?
We'll start first. What exactly happened on the night of the murder?
Let me think. It was Friday evening. Me and my papa had arrived at Chateau Crenray, the home of the great Baron Rogois. My papa spent all evening talk with Monsieur Grenouille and the Baron about business stuff.
Business stuff?
Well, the three of them own a railway company together. So all through dinner they were talking about company shares and investments, but I didn't really understand most of it. But after dinner, this man with a camera took our photograph. That was a lot more fun.
Sorry, man with a what took your what?
Camera? It's a very new gadget. A tiny bug sits in a box with a tiny paintbrush and paints your picture very fast. In 10 minutes, poof, you have a perfect picture. Wow, technology is amazing.
I don't think the lady's explanation is right, Sparrowson.
Pshaw, let me believe.
So, the camera sounds like a very special device. I'll make note of it.
Camera in the evidence folder. A photographer named Robiccio attended the banquet.
Please continue, Dame Cataline.
So, after we had the photograph, I went into the gardens to get some air, and that's when I found the body of Monsieur Grenouille. He was all ripped open. A housemaid saw me standing over the froggy Monsieur and called for help. Then the police arrived. Before I could say anything, I ended up here. It was such a blur.
It must have been terrifying.
It wasn't so bad. My papa taught me how to be a brave cat. Was there something else you want to ask, Monsieur Falcon?
Dame Cataline, who attended the banquet that evening?
Well, there was me and my papa. My dearest mamma could not make it.
Well, this is man, but, you know, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be mama, so.
And there was Baron Rogois, who hosted the dinner, and his housemaid, Quilline, I think she was called. Of course, there was Monsieur Grenouille. Well, until, you know, he died. And there was Monsieur Ribiccio de Rubino, the man with the camera, but he was only there for a little while. I think that was all. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Dame Cataline, did you see anything suspicious that evening?
Suspicious? Like, Maybe a guy lurking in the shadows, or a bloodied murder weapon? Monsieur Falcon, I do believe you are looking for an easy answer.
You got me.
I did not see anything, I am afraid. The evening was very normal, the food was delicious, the conversation was boring. It was all very ordinary until the incident.
I see.
Wait! Falcon, you missed something of huge importance.
I did?
Dame Cataline, you said the food was delicious. But you didn't say what food it was!
You and your damn stomach.
Let me see. We had poached red herring to start, garnished with garlic bread butter. Go on. Then a marbled steak served perfect bloody rare. Glorious! Falcon, write this down.
What? This can't possibly be relevant to the case.
Write it all down, please, for me.
Fine, fine.
Red herring has been added to your evidence folder. Literally. Red herring. Bloody rare steak has been added to your evidence folder. Literally, bloody red steak. Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak at the banquet.
Sparrowson, remind me not to let you talk to clients on an empty stomach.
Come to think of it, I did find it a little strange that we weren't given any cutlery.
No cutlery? Even for the steak?
Nope. You would think the great Baron of Chateau Crenry would have glorious silverware, but there was none to be seen.
That is a little peculiar.
Is there anything else you wanted to know, Monsieur Falcon?
No, I think that will be all.
So, what's the plan now, Falcon?
Well, I see we have two tasks. We should head to Chateau Crenry
and try to see the scene of the murder for ourselves.
And we should try to track down the supposed photographer, Monsieur Robiccio de Rubino.
2 days for 2 tasks. Seems doable.
But we should get back and get some rest first. We have a lot of work ahead of us.
Wait, Monsieur Falcon? Oh. Monsieur Falcon, before you go. You do believe my story, don't you?
I believe you. I believe in justice. ...
If there's anything that Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright, has taught me, you gotta believe in your client.
Of course, Dame Cataline, it's our duty as lawyers.
And as gentlemen.
Have faith in your testimony. You can trust us.
Thank you. Thank you both. Dame Cataline, Monsieur Grenouille, Baron Rogois. These names are all getting a bit confusing, aren't they?
Not particularly.
Well, it is for me. I'm going to start compiling a Facebook so that I can keep track of who everyone is.
Oh, what?
A Facebook! That's a collection of people's names, pictures, and descriptions in one easy-to-carry catalog.
I think I understand. A name could use a little work, though.
Well, let's look at our Facebook. We got J.J. Falcon, the Aviary Attorney himself. Got Spederson, Falcon's suave and courageous lackey. What a handsome fellow. Poutois Dumois, the wealthy father of Dame Cataline. Poutois hired us to defend Dame Cataline in court. Quark, an ill-mannered jailkeeper, seems to feel disgust for criminals and for animals in general. Cataline Dumois, the elegant bourgeois daughter of Signor Poutois Dumois. She has been accused of murdering Monsieur Grenouille. Grenouille, the froggy businessman who was found murdered at Chateau Crenry, a colleague of Poutois and Rogois. Yes, I know.
Let's make a move.
I hope the video feed is fine. I was having a lot of issues trying to get it started. Okay, so we can go to the prison for free. We can also go to the office for free. Let's go to the office first, since it's free. Falcon, why are we back in your office? We have a case to solve.
I was just procrastinating.
Now stop it. We need to get back to helping Dame Cataline.
Alright, I'm ready. Let's go.
So, same scene we've already seen. Same scene we've already seen. Okay, yes. We go back to the prison. What do you want?
I'm J.J. Falcon, defense attorney for...
I know you are. I saw you come by earlier, but visiting hours are over. Come back next week.
Do you think you could make an exception for us?
Visiting hours are over. We'll be quick. I said, visiting hours are over. Do your bird brains understand? Parlez-vous français? I think he's going to make an exception, Falcon. I don't think he's going to make an exception, Falcon.
Alright, let's continue our investigation.
So, we either go see the frog, or we go to the chateau. I think we go to the chateau first. Because we need to see the scene of the crime first. That makes the most sense. I hope I'm not crazy in thinking that. Let's just do it. Falcon and Sparrowson enter the courtyard outside Chateau Corinne. People with dirty clothes and gaunt faces linger around the building's shadows. Excusez-moi, messieurs. I don't mean to be a pain, but my little girl and I are sick and starving, see. I don't suppose you'd happen to have some spare change? You have 20 francs in your wallet. What will you do? I'm feeling very generous. Let's give 10 francs.
There you go. Stay safe, madame.
Oh, wow. Bless you, messieurs. Bless you. That was pretty generous of you, Falcon.
Times are tough. Making sure a mother and child can make it through the last of winter is the least I can do. But what am I doing standing here moralizing? Come on, Sparrowson. We've got business to attend to.
Falcon and Sparrowson step into the pristine wood-paneled foyer of Chateau Corinne. Whoa, look at this place. Baron Rogois must be loaded.
More than loaded. When it comes to lucrative investments, the Baron is a legend. Factories, chocolate shops, hotels, railroads, the Baron owns a little bit of everything this side of the Seine.
Is he here right now?
Yes, he's a smuggling chap with the impressive mane. But we must approach a man of his stature with tact and finesse.
Hey, Baron, we'd like to have a word. How's that?
Sparrowson, you have the finesse of an inebriated warthog.
You can thank me later. I think I got his attention.
Did I hear my name? Great Baron Rogois, property owner extraordinaire at your service. And who might you fellows be? More investigators? Not quite. I am private attorney J.J. Falcon, and this is my associate, Sparrowson.
Liars, eh? You know you aren't the first to have passed through here today.
Oh?
Yes. This jumpy Twitcho fellow came by here this morning. Asked a bunch of questions, then hopped away before he heard the answers. Most curious.
Do you know who he was, Sparrowson?
Perhaps. I have a hunch. Hunch. We'll be seeing him at the trial.
A friend of yours?
Something like that. So, what may I do for you, messieurs?
We're doing some research on Monsieur Grenouille, the frog who was killed here on Friday evening.
Of course. Such a tragedy. He was a good friend and a loyal business partner. I suppose you messieurs will be wanting to see the crime scene for yourself?
Actually, yes, that would be fantastic.
Well, be my guest. You will find the garden where the murder occurred through the back doors. You may also be interested in the lounge on the second floor, third door to the right. That would be where we gathered for a group photograph prior to the... unfortunate incident. Oh, can we see the finished photograph? I'm afraid not. It is to my understanding that a photograph must be developed before it can be viewed. It's a slow process. My own copy of the photograph is to be delivered in 3 days' time. That's no good to us. The trial may be over by then.
Nonetheless, we appreciate your hospitality. Thank you, Baron.
It's no trouble at all. I'll be here to see you out when you're done with your investigations. So, where shall we go first? Main hall, I guess.
Did you measure...
I didn't realize this was the main hall.
Did you measures have a good look around? I trust everything was in order.
Actually, we haven't visited the garden yet. We definitely need to do that. So, garden.
Dame Cataline said that she found Monsieur Grenouille on the stairs by the fountain, so this must be the very spot where the murder took place.
Hey, Falcon, do the crime scene investigation thing.
The crime scene investigation thing?
Yeah, you know, that thing where you get all eagle-eyed and analyze every object in excruciating detail.
You mean search for evidence?
Yeah, do that.
That's not a bad suggestion. It wouldn't be the first time the Parisian police have missed something right under their noses.
Yes, I understand how investigations work. I've played Ace Attorney before. So, let's start. I mean, fountain, I guess, first thing.
This fountain is finely crafted. In solid carved marble? Not kind of cheap.
I see nothing but water in the bottom of the lower basin. It's a shame we can't see inside the upper basin from here. That would be a perfect place to quickly stash a murder weapon.
That's actually not a terrible line of reasoning. Better wade in and take a closer look just to be sure.
Yeah, I suppose we should.
Oh, I apologize. I wasn't being direct enough. What I meant to say was, Sparrison, go wade into the fountain and take a closer look inside the upper basin.
Me? No way. If you want to go wading, do it yourself.
I'm a respectable lawyer. You can't expect me to roll up my trousers and paddle around a fountain like a duck in a lake.
Well, you don't pay me enough to justify getting my sweet threads wet. Look, there's only one reasonable way to settle this. Or flip for it.
Flip for it?
Yeah, I'll flip this 1 franc coin. You call the outcome. Get it wrong, and you go for a swim. So what'll it be? Heads or tails? Napoleon face or plant squiggles? I wish I had my own coin right here to flip. Let's go tails. Do tails.
Plant squiggles? It's called a wreath, Sparrison. Sure, I'll bet on the plant squiggles.
Here I go. It's heads. Should have gone with the old Emperor Falcon.
Gah! Fine, hold my shoes.
Falcon should really learn how to spot a rigged coin flip. I almost feel bad for cheating. Almost. Ha! You're back! Had a good swim.
No, I'm a bird, not a fish. But I did find a mystery item in the upper basin. It's no murder weapon, though.
What is this? It's brown and sticky and smells weird. Don't tell me that you've picked up a
very wet cigar butt? Possibly belonging to Baron Rogois? Correct. Now that shouldn't be too surprising. It is his house, after all.
I'll stash it in the evidence folder, just in case. Let's go ahead and look at that. A cigar was found at the bottom of the fountain in Rogois' garden. It could only be reached with a little waiting. Is there anything else we need to do here? Let's see.
A horse statue. This one has a goofy face.
That reminds me of a joke. A horse walks into a bar, and the barkeep says,
Why the long face? Yes, yes, we've all heard that one.
What? No. The barkeep says, you've got to stop coming here. You're drinking us under the stable.
I think it's time to rein in the horse jokes.
Select an area to examine. Oh, why did I read that? Of course I know to select an area to examine. You get in that habit when you start reading things. You're just like, bam, 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 bam. Just read, 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 read. Alright. Let's examine the other one then.
Another beautifully made horse statue.
You know, my uncle once had a horse that refused to eat hay.
Oh? That's unfortunate.
Yep. Eventually, we realized that it was just filling up on hors d'oeuvres.
Ugh. Terrible.
Love it.
A finely crafted horse statue. The mane almost looks lifelike.
Would you say it behooves you to stroke it?
No. No, I would not.
Get ready, we've at least got one more here.
Nougua certainly likes his horse statues.
I don't mind the horse statues, but the little cherub people creep me out. Baby should be waddling, not attempting saddleless horseback riding. Okay. Let's see, we still got this thing.
Dried blood on the staircase. This must be where Monsieur Grenouille died.
Do you see any bloody footprints? Ooh, or maybe a name scrawled in blood, written with a frog's last breath.
Wishful thinking. All I'm seeing here is a big sticky puddle. There's nothing to indicate that the body was moved, or that the frog left a last-minute clue. All I can make out from the bloody mess is that Monsieur Grenouille was attacked and killed on the staircase.
Let's see. Yes, I'm doing this number. Because I don't know what else there could be to look at. Might have looked at everything. I think we did. Let's see. Yeah, we only got 10 francs now. Let's check out our Facebook, see who else we have. Sontan and Gambabe. Gambabe? Okay. A mother and her bouncy daughter who begged us for money outside Chateau Crenay. Okay. Bernouillet, the great lion of Chateau Crenay. A reputably ruthless businessman. Doesn't look like we have anybody else in the Facebook yet, so... Yes. Alright, so we'll end our investigation here.
I think we're done here.
Good call. But are you sure you don't want to take another dip? We still have time.
Don't push your luck.
So, we need to do the lounge. Oh boy.
Second floor. Third door on the right. This must be the room where the photograph was taken.
Psst. Hey Falcon, do you see that?
See what?
That housemaid totally just did something shifty.
Shifty?
I think she just pocketed something from that drawer. You should totally call her out on it.
Excuse me, mademoiselle.
Ah! Yes? Are you two policemen?
No, we're private attorneys.
So the Baron did it? We'll see. We'll see who did it.
No, we're private attorneys. My name's J.J. Falcon.
And I'm Sparrowson. Oh, how rude of me. My name is Courline de Hat. So, what can I help you messieurs with today?
We're investigating the murder that took place last week. Do you mind if we ask you a couple of questions?
That's fine. Let me just grab a chair. That's better. What was it you wanted to ask?
Yeah, let's start with the photograph. We're looking for the room where the photograph was taken prior to the incident. Would you happen to know whether this is the right room?
Oh, yes, you're in the right place. I saw the photography session for myself. Let's see. The cameraman was standing just about where you're standing, actually, Monsieur Falcon.
And where was the camera pointed?
Right at the clock above the mantelpiece. The Baron insisted on using that very location.
Now that I'm looking at it, something isn't right about that clock.
I know. The painting on it totally clashes with the decor.
I was thinking more obvious lines. The clock has no hands.
Oh, that clock has never had hands in all the years I've worked here. I think Baron Rourgois just keeps it around as a conversation piece. Well, we're conversing about it, so I guess it's worthy.
It's a peculiar detail, though. I'll make note of it.
Let's take a look at that. The clock in Baron Rourgois' lounge has no hands. Is there something else you wanted to ask?
You were a little nervous when we came in. You thought we were police officers.
Is there something we ought to know? Anything you need to confess? No. Suppose I'm just a little nervous after all the drama of last week.
We'll pressure. Are you sure there isn't anything that you're hiding?
It's okay to tell us. We're defense attorneys. That means we help people get away with criminal acts.
Right, and... Wait. What? No, that's not an accurate job description, Sparrowson.
It isn't? Oh. What do we do, then?
I'll tell you later.
Honestly, Messieurs, I have nothing to hide. Was there something else you wanted to ask?
No further questions. Thank you, mademoiselle. You've been a huge help.
It's no problem, Messieurs. Actually, there is something. I know you saw me stealing as you came in. I appreciate you didn't give me the third degree about it. You see, I'm trying to save up to follow my dreams and, well, never mind, I'm rambling.
It's no problem, mademoiselle. To be honest, we have a much larger crime to worry about. Although I should probably ask, I don't suppose you've been stealing anything else? Silverware, perhaps?
You know about that? Yeah, I suppose that was me. It started with a couple of teaspoons. I didn't think the Baron would miss those. But, well, yeah, I suppose the habit got a little away from me. That's one mystery solved, at least.
Missing silverware has been added to the evidence folder.
Quillane, the housemaid of Chateau Crony, has confessed to stealing silverware from the household. I would appreciate if you didn't tell the Baron. He's been really kind, and I would hate to break his trust.
I see.
So, where to next, Big Bird? I guess at this point, we go back to the main hall.
Did you measures have a good look around? I trust everything was in order? We had a good look. Thank you, Baron. But we actually have some questions for you.
Please, ask away. I have nothing to hide. I don't know if she'd asked about the housemaid or not.
Baron Rourgois, I would like to ask you about your activities on the night of the murder.
Ho, am I in trouble?
No, nothing like that. We're just gathering the full picture.
I see. Well, let me think. The guest arrived at 5 o'clock, and we all sat down for dinner at this very hall at 6. That part went magnificently. The photographer arrived at 7 o'clock, but it wasn't until 7:30 that we had our picture taken. My housemaid discovered the crime scene soon after that.
I see.
Is there something else I can help you measures with? Should I talk about the housemaid? It's not like I have to push the story forward. I can I can actually ignore it and not say a word about it. She did ask us not to say anything about it. Curious, curious questions. I mean, there's no going back if I say anything. And there's no going back if I leave. I guess I'm gonna talk about it. We met your housemaid, Colleen de Holt. She's a courteous young lady, isn't she? Yes, she was more than willing to help us with our investigation. I'm glad to hear it. Did you two want to ask something else? I guess I missed my chance. I think that will be all, Baron. Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure. Have a delightful day, messieurs. Did you get all the information you needed, Falcon? I hope so. Don't worry. If everything goes wrong in the trial, we could always just wing it. Terrible. Just terrible. Let's head back to the office and get some rest. Alright. So apparently we can go back to the house without any sort of problem. Let's go back and see what happens. Back here already? I thought you wanted to meet the photographer. Come on, Falcon. Time's a-wasting. Okay. Alright, let's go to the Studio de Rubinho. Oh, this is the studio, the famous photographer. Shall we knock? Wait, there's a note on the door. Ahem. The magnificent and marvelous artist, Monsieur Rabiccio de Rubinho, is currently out on an artistic expedition. He shall return when his muse sees fit. When his muse sees fit? What does that even mean? I think it means that he is pretentious bird brain, but in any case, the artist seems to be out. What shall we do now? We should knock anyway. Alright, I don't see the harm. Nope, it doesn't look like he's in, Falcon. Should I leave or should I break in? Decisions, decisions, decisions. Alright, we'll break in. We should break in. What? Are you serious? Maybe? Monsieur J.J. Falcon, I would have thought that a man of justice like yourself would be against such reckless displays of unlawful barbarism. You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over. It's a brilliant suggestion. Stand back. I'm barging the door down.
Wait, just like that? Shouldn't we discuss this first? What in bird Jesus' name was that?
You said you wanted to break in.
I thought we could find an open window. I didn't think you would turn into a bird-sized cannonball. Well, now we're here, we ought to make the most of it. This place is quite something. It's very
Swanky?
I was going to say ostentatious.
That's just swanky talk for swanky.
We don't have time for this. The sound of a door being smashed in could be drawing unwanted attention. We should find anything that may help our case and get out. Let's see. A lighthouse? No, wait. It's a man in a top hat. Actually, if I squint and turn my head sideways...
It's a black smudge falcon.
I see a finely dressed dandy fellow upon a horse.
A chandelier! You should get one of those for the office.
I don't have the money for that sort of luxury. A picture of a sailing ship on a windy day. This is a tiny photograph of what appears to be a jail cell. That reminds me, how illegal is this? You know, breaking and entering, rifling through a person's belongings.
Oh, that's Sparrison. Well, whatever. Rifling through a person's belongings?
It's okay. A recently passed amendment allows for proportionate amounts of property damage in the pursuit of criminal evidence.
I don't think that's correct, but your use of legal jargon makes me have faith in your credentials. It sounds like you're
starting to learn the finer points of the French justice system, Sparrison. This is a picture of a fence.
It's a fancy photograph and leaves the viewer defenseless. Out of all the pictures here, I would pick it as my favorite. Okay, I'm done. No more fence puns.
This is a photograph of a castle somewhere in the countryside.
You know, I once had an uncle who fell off a castle rampart while on guard duty.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did he die?
No, he got demoted.
Ugh, terrible. A beautiful picture of the Paris skyline. Given the angle, this must have been taken from Notre Dame Cathedral itself. This appears to be a photograph of a ladder, symbolic of climbing towards success, perhaps?
Looks more like a stepladder to me.
Oh no, we're not getting into that old argument.
By old argument, he means a joke completely stolen from the Ace Attorney series, but, you know, it is what it is.
I see a bourgeois tigress in profile. I see paints, inks, and dyes. Not quite sure what the clear liquid in the bottle is.
I could taste test it.
You could, but we don't have time for a hospital visit right now, so let's not.
Guess the last thing to explore is this open doorway. Hey, Falcon, look.
What? It's just an easel.
No, look what's on the easel.
Oh, wow, this must be a copy of the photograph from the evening of the murder. There's no question about it. I see a housemaid, Dame Cataline, and I think that's Seigneur Pourtois, Cataline's father.
So what shall we do? Do we just take this? Obviously we don't want to take it, right? I mean, that just doesn't make sense to take it. I mean, we could, I guess, but... Okay, YOLO.
We've come this far, we may as well borrow it.
Studio photograph has been added to your evidence folder. A photograph we borrowed from a Robinho's studio. It shows Quilline, Catherine, and Pourtois. Is there anything else we need to do here? feel like the oh hey, a butterfly or maybe a moth. It's difficult to tell in black and white. I guess we examined everything. I think we're done snooping. Let's get out of here before we draw further attention to ourselves. Sounds good to me. Uh-oh. Oh, mon Dieu! What happened to my door? Might as well lie.
Some kids did it. Little weasel types. We saw them.
Yeah, weasels. They're all like, let's break into this art guy's house. And we were like, no, weasels, you cannot do that because that would be illegal. And then they were like,
we chased them off. That's the important thing.
Well, thank you, I suppose.
Let's make a move. Trial day is approaching fast.
Right. Let's go. Alright, so just to see the scene, we'll go back to the studio. Falcon, it's the trial day. Stop messing around. We need to head to the courthouse already.
I was just...
No, we're going to be late. Alright, to the Palais de Justice. Falcon and Sparrowson stand inside the marble portico of the Palais de Justice, awaiting the opening of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. Are you nervous, Falcon?
Nope. We've got this case in the bag. Look at my feathers, see? Totally unruffled.
Wow. Well, at least one of us is feeling confident. Monsieur Falcon, Petit Sparrowson, is there anything you need me to do?
No. We've got a handle on things.
Falcon was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case. That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through. Let's move it along, fellas. I'll be watching from inside. Do your best for me, Monsieur Falcon. We will. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Alright. Settle down, everyone. Settle down. Is everybody here?
J.J. Falcon present. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Rupert Remington present. The ready is prosecution, Your Honor. Darn, that's not it. Oh gosh, where are my notes? Ha! I knew it.
Knew what?
Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all of my classes.
Oh? Was he smart?
No. He always scored the second worst marks in the class. I can only assume that he bumbled through the final exams on the luck of his 2 rabbit's feet. Unless he's improved considerably, you might already have this trial in the bag.
That's good to know. But say, Sparrowson, if Rupert scored the second lowest marks in the class, then who scored the lowest?
I choose to exercise my right to not self-incriminate. Here it is. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Are all the jury present?
All present and accounted for, Your Honor. Hey, Falcon, I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count 8?
Oh, those 2 birds with the funny hats are assessors, the associate judges.
Everything seems to be in order, so let us begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Dame Catherine de Moix. Prosecution, please call your first witness to stand. Oh, gosh, are we there already? Oh, okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Valerti, to the witness stand. Inspector Valerti, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
As you will, Your Honor. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Monsieur, Inspector, please state your name and occupation for the record.
My name is Inspector Just Valerti. I am a servant to the law, a scourge of the gutter rats that plague this city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridicula to justice. My path begins 18 years ago.
Let's stick to the questions, Inspector.
Of course, Your Honor.
Oh, great. So we're going to have one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with a lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn in his own mother if he saw her littering. So, Inspector, is it true that you're the lead investigator on this case?
That is correct. I was also among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime.
Then, perhaps you can walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival?
Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Rogois. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Catherine de Moix. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Grunwy with his blood on her paws.
Well, that sounds like an open and shut case in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor.
Bloody balls! Nobody told me that detail.
Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony.
Of course. I know this.
You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. Yes, I know how to cross-examine. It's a little bit different in this game, but, you know. Let's see. Well, these are all good statements to press, I think.
Inspector, you say you were alerted to the scene by Baron Rogois' housemaid. That is correct. Would the housemaid have been the murderer?
I object, Falcon. You just can't go around accusing people of murder willy-nilly.
I must agree. I saw and heard nothing that made me suspect the housemaid. No motive, no means.
Falcon, do you have any reason to suspect that the housemaid was a murderer? I don't think we have a reason to suspect she murdered anybody. And she's in the photograph, too, so...
Well, no, I don't. I was just exploring the possibility.
Humph.
In any case, I saw and heard nothing that made me suspect the housemaid of murder.
So another question about the housemaid. No. Let's talk about the scene of the crime. That sounds good.
Inspector, do you say you found Dame Cataline at the scene of the crime? Correct. The suspect was standing right beside the victim's body. Did you find anything out of the ordinary in the garden? Out of the ordinary? Missing garden tools, broken fences, that sort of thing? Definitely not. We combed the garden and it came up empty. Nothing but marble horse statues and properly trimmed grass. That seems pretty definitive. When you say standing right beside, Would you say the two were less than 1 meter away?
I would say around 3 feet.
Feet. I'm not familiar with British measurements. How many feet are in a meter?
Well, there are 12 inches in a foot and 2.5 centimeters to an inch, so... Wait, I need a pen and paper.
12 inches to a foot? That's just plain silly.
Monsieur Falcon, is this going anywhere? No, I don't think it is.
No, Your Honor, I was just trying to form a clear picture.
Let's not dwell on the petty details. Move it along, Monsieur Falcon. No, I do not.
I would like to ask about the corpse of Monsieur Grenouille.
Go on.
What was Monsieur Grenouille's cause of death?
That was immediately obvious when I arrived at the scene. Monsieur Grenouille had a gaping slash from shoulder to thigh. Blood was everywhere. I spoke with the coroner, and he was in agreement. A frog died from blood loss directly caused by the open wound.
I see.
I suppose there's no chance of arguing that this was an unrelated injury, huh? Let's ask another question.
Inspector, could you describe the cut on Monsieur Grenouille's corpse?
Certainly. It was a single vertical slash. It was a fine and deep cut, the sort that you would expect to see from a sharpened saber or a surgeon's knife. Or a cat's claw?
Certainly. Wait. You say a saber or knife could have inflicted that wound. Isn't this a line of investigation that's worth pursuing?
Don't be daft, Falcon. Do you see or hear anything about a knife or sword at the crime scene?
I did. There was a sword in the main hall. Wasn't there?
I think the police would have noticed a thing like that.
No, Monsieur Falcon. There was no sword at the crime scene.
These sorts of observations are ridiculous and dangerous. Judge! I concur. Defense, please be more careful with your lines of inquiry. They're stalling. What a buffoon. Lost a little favor with the jury. Damn. Well, I thought I was going to pull some crap with the missing silverware.
Inspector, you say Dame Cataline had blood on her paws.
Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict.
Whose blood was it?
Ha! What a question. It was Monsieur Grenouille's, of course.
How can you be so sure?
I object. This line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Dame Cataline's paws could have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Grenouille. Judge, Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. I am afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reason to suspect that the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Grenouille?
I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Cataline's paws had nothing to do with the murder.
Is this foolish time-wasting off, Falcon? If the blood on Dame Cataline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? Well, this is a simple answer. Boom!
On the evening of the murder, Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak.
Is this true, Monsieur Rubbington? Well, in a manner of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu.
And, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well,
Wait, don't, answer that, Inspector.
it is a possibility.
No.
Intriguing. Pretty good. I gained a little favor with the jury. Awesome. So, Inspector Verletti, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a mess eater?
Now, hold on 1 minute, Falcon. You're overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Cataline is an elegant bourgeois kitten. She was no doubt brought up with flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners?
Oh, that is a good question, or at least it would be at any ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happens, something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced Dame Cataline to eat with her paws. Boom! Missing silverware. Dame Cataline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen.
Stolen? I don't recall any mention of that in the police report.
We weren't aware of anything missing from the bourgeois residence when we performed the initial investigation. But as it happened, Baron Bourgeois approached us about this very subject last night.
Ah! Innocent, perhaps? What a twist.
Gained a little favor with the jury.
What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak, misplaced silverware. Inspector, is your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report?
Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you, I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force.
Then it is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Heh. Oh dear. Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case.
Fine. So be it, messieurs. Until next time.
Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready? Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Rubinio, the, photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder. Monsieur Rubinio, please approach the stand and recite the oath. How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's a little cliché, to be perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record? As if anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Rubinio, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. Je suis le sad. T'es un pipe. Pipe? Pipe? I didn't expect so much fucking French to suddenly pop up. You may have seen my works in hip magazines, Le Branche or C'est Chouette. I can send you tweets if you like.
What on earth is a tweet?
Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon, it's the 19th century. Get with the times already. Yes, your words are very, impressive, Monsieur Rubinio. But let's get down to business. Could you tell us your, activities were on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by Baron Magua to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening, appointed my camera, and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Magua and left. Like a true artist. And, with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph? I thought you might ask. I brought a copy so that you all could see for yourselves. Very good. Let's take a closer look. My word, this is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see, who do we have here? In the middle we see, Baron Magua, the lion who hosted the event. On the left we see, Signor Poutois de Moore, the father of the defendant, Dame Cataline. And finally we see the housemaid, Quillen de Hart, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenouille. The second is the defendant, Dame Cataline Demois. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree?
Just a moment, Monsieur Rabington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That does not mean that they were in the garden together at that point.
Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet.
The prosecution may continue.
Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set at 7:30. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Valerti told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Cataline herself. Hey, Falcon, that photograph doesn't seem right. Looks different from the one we borrowed from Robinho's studio.
I see it too. Our photograph shows Colleen de Hart, Dame Cataline, and Signor Portois. But Monsieur Robinho's photograph shows Baron Roguet, where Dame Cataline should be standing. If we assume that only one photograph was taken, then this demonstrates that one of the photographs must have been edited in some way.
You should just slam that evidence down and be like, BAM! Inconsistency. This whole courtroom is out of order. Case closed.
I can't do that.
Well, I suppose you could be a little more delicate with your words.
No, I mean I can't do that because our evidence was illegally obtained. If I were to present it, Monsieur Robinho would ask how we acquired it, and the whole trial could derail. In a worst-case scenario, I could lose my legal license, and we'd be arrested for theft.
Oh, well, we don't want that.
No, we don't. So I should tread lightly. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. The defense may proceed. Humph. It's a waste of time, if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence.
Let's ask about the time. Let's just go in order. Monsieur Rubinho, you say you arrived at 7 o'clock.
Give or take a couple of minutes, yes.
How do you know you arrived at 7?
Well, the clock in my house read 6:45 on the left, and the walk to Chateau René was around 15 minutes. I don't claim to be a flawless timekeeper, but I am a professional. I always stick to an appointment.
I would like to ask about the camera itself.
Go on.
Can a camera ever make mistakes?
Now there's a question only an imbecilic, technophobic Philistine could ask. No, monsieur. The camera is absolutely flawless device. My photographs offer a perfect reflection of reality. Nothing more, nothing less.
So, if there were an inconsistency between a photograph and reality, what would that imply?
An odd question. I don't think such a thing could ever be possible.
But if one were to see such a thing...
Falcon, stop dancing around the point and tell us what you're trying to get at.
I see a mistake in the photograph.
A mistake? Impossible. I just told you, monsieur. The camera is perfect, the unbiased device. The photograph it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps you could be more specific.
Certainly.
Boom!
The clock in this photograph. There's something not right about it.
Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his client.
Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Remington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with that clock in that picture.
Take that.
The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6.
That much is self-evident.
Which is most curious because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Cluny has no hands.
It has no hands?
The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Reguet about it, or his housemaid if you have any doubts. Monsieur Rubigno, how do you explain this discrepancy?
I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless.
There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world.
Maybe there was an error in the printing process.
An error precisely where the clock's hand should be. Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Rubigno, edited this photograph.
Edited?
I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task, considering that the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process.
Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing?
Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph's subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Rubigno created a perfect alibi. Of course, it raises further questions. Who was the witness protecting, and why? Was Monsieur Rubigno coerced, bribed, threatened? Enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Rubigno.
Fine. You've got me. I'm guilty. I did it all. You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grenouille? What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to. I made changes to the printed photographs. And yes, that included adding hands to the clock.
You were ordered? By whom?
I dare not say. Monsieur Rubigno, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's questions. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all. With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names. His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon? That is most unfortunate. Monsieur Rubigno, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancient regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leaves. You shall be charged with perjury in due course. I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failures as an artist. Good day, messieurs. Intriguing. Pretty convincing. So, Clock's hands were painted on. So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Cataline as absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant.
Don't be dense, Monsieur Rubbington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, cannot be considered reliable evidence.
Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events.
Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It is possible that Dame Cataline was painted out. Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for.
So what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Signor Putois de Moix, perhaps?
I don't think so. The housemaid lacks some means or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Signor Putois to implicate his own daughter.
Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Reguet deliberately tried to frame Dame Cataline? Because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing.
Monsieur Remington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However, mayhaps I should offer my opinion.
Baron, it's not a time for your witness testimony yet.
So you would think, prosecutor, and yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence.
Incompetence?
Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yes, I suppose that's fine.
Very good. I trust that the defense has no objections.
No objections here.
Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening. Okay. Baron Leguay, on the night of the initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Grenouille left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed behind him moments later. Signor Pourtois, Monsieur Ribignon, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Grenouille and Dame Cataline. That would be when I heard her cry for help. Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there.
I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Do you doubt my integrity,
Garçon? I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron.
Very well, then. Hit me with your best shot. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Leguay, am an honest man. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Boo.
Yeah, we'll start from the beginning, the dinner.
Baron Leguay, I would like to ask about the dinner you served that evening.
Very well. Excuse me. Ask away. Let's ask about the red herring. Why not?
Now, about this red herring.
Yes? What about it?
I'm not sure, but I feel it is of vital importance to the case.
Falcon, I want to, clarify this. Are you saying that you wish to pursue the red herring?
No. On second thought, I suspect the red herring may be a diversion. I'll leave it alone for now.
That's a good call. The joke was starting to wear thin. Alright.
Earlier today, we established the silver was stolen from your residence prior to the banquet.
Indeed. I'm aware of whom the culprit is, but I have decided not to press charges.
It is curious, then, that you decided to serve steak. Isn't that what one would describe... It isn't what one would describe as finger food, after all.
I don't know about that, Falcon. With the right attitude, all food can be finger food. There's nothing curious about it, Signor Pourtois and Dame Cataline are vocal lovers of rare steak. I was merely suiting their needs. Besides, what other choice did the Baron have, Falcon? Serve vegetable broth like a common peasant?
Do be quiet, prosecutor. You sound ridiculous.
So sorry, Baron.
Baron Regois, I have some questions about Monsieur Grenouille.
God rest his soul.
What was your relation to Monsieur Grenouille prior to his demise?
We were business partners. Monsieur Grenouille, Signor Pourtois de Meur, and myself all owned a third share of an up-and-coming railway company.
Excuse the crassness of this question, but that means that you and Signor Pourtois would now own half of the company each, correct?
Correct. I suppose that's a slight glimmer of benefit that arose from this foul situation. But, Monsieur, you must understand that Monsieur Grenouille and I were friends as much as we were business associates. I mourn the man's passing.
Of course.
Do you have another question about Monsieur Grenouille? Yes, I do.
Why did Monsieur Grenouille leave to visit the garden?
I believe he wanted some fresh air. The steak did not sit well with him, I fear.
Oh, I see. But that is quite coincidental timing, isn't it?
How so?
Well, Monsieur Grenouille felt sick and left the room just after the photographer arrived and just before the murder occurred. One might draw a link between the food and the sickness.
Hold on, Falcon. Surely you aren't suggesting that Mr. Grenouille's food was poisoned in some way? I don't think we got anything to support that. So we're not going to pursue that.
No. There is nothing to indicate poisoning. I just found the timing somewhat puzzling.
There is nothing puzzling about it. Monsieur Grenouille always had a soft stomach. It's really no surprise that he couldn't keep down a good rare steak.
Garden. Baron, we saw the murder scene, your garden, for ourselves. Baron Guay, when was the last time you ventured into your own garden?
As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my own garden for years.
Years, you say?
Indeed.
Baron, I do not wish to call you a liar, but that claim does not hold up to scrutiny.
Oh, and why is that?
As we have hard evidence that you have visited the garden recently.
Balderdash! My word is gold. Show the court this so-called hard evidence that I've been in my garden.
This was found in your garden. To be specific, it was found inside the fountain basin. Right beside where the murder occurred.
Cigar butt? That could belong to, anybody, and...
Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself.
Okay, sorry, Baron.
That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize, Monsieur Falcon, for I misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years. But, naturally, after hearing the housemaid's cry for help on the evening of the murder, I had rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin.
You see, Falcon, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation.
I would find that believable if the cigar were casually discarded. But as it happened, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that could only be accessed with great inconvenience.
And a little paddling.
Cigar butt was not dropped, it was deliberately hidden.
There are any number of possible explanations.
Are there? Because I can only think of one. That is, that you, Baron Reguay, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities.
Did I, now? And what illicit activities would those be?
You want me to spell it out? Fine, let's put everything on the table. You, Baron Reguay, murdered Monsieur Grenouille. That's what you were trying to keep hidden.
Directly accusing me of murder? How shamelessly brazen. That is a ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence, no means, motive, or opportunity.
No evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Rabbington. Every piece of evidence points to Baron Reguay as the prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly had the means. His lion's claws are as sharp as a surgeon's blade. Gutting a frog's belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur Rabinio confessed, just moments ago, that he feared his claws.
Ridiculous. I would never threaten a man with violence.
You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2.
This is preposterous.
And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests.
He was aware of the missing silverware, and yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then he hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Photographing the guests in front of the handless clock to make for an easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said. Prosecutor, are you just going to let this slanderous yawn go uncontested? Say something, object! Oh, you're pitifully useless. After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence, his finished cigar. He knew that leaving at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. So, out of desperation, he threw it into his fountain, out of the sight of his guests and any snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Signor Pourtois de Moi, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Dame Cataline was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised. This is an outrage! Judge, I demand that you disbar this rattling new lunatic. No, there is only one outrage here. That is, that a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You are a bourgeois of the worst kind. How dare you, garçon? You had the nerve for a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like myself of something so heinous. I'm nothing like the fat cat bourgeois. I'm a respectable, hard-working capitalist. No, you're a ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs. You incredulous whelp! Ought to have got you right here and now, like a damned frog. Could someone please restrain the Baron? I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man. The concierge are with you. Don't you touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. This is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add? Well, in a manner of, speaking, well, to be honest, no. And I shall confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask that the animals of the court please be patient in this time. Falcon, that was pretty incredible. Thank you. I just hope it was enough. What do you mean? You just proved Cataline's innocence. We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure.
Sparrowson, I think you've misunderstood something important about the justice system.
What's that?
I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved Dame Cataline's innocence. All I've done is demonstrate that there is a significant possibility that she is not guilty.
I'm not sure that I understand the difference.
We have reached a decision. In light of the recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously define the defendant, Dame Cataline Demois, to be not guilty.
Monsieur Falcon, Petit Sparrowson, you did it.
Yeah, I suppose we did, didn't we?
We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly. You did it, Falcon.
I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement.
I'm so proud of both of you. I'll go get 1 bottle of wine and 3 of our least dirty glasses. You are amazing, Monsieur Falcon.
It was nothing.
I very much like the way you pinned the murder on the Baron. That was an act of sheer genius.
Well, I didn't pin anything. Sparrowson and I just worked out unveiling the truth given the facts of the case.
Monsieur Falcon, there's no need to play coy. The case is over.
Play coy?
Don't tell me you're actually being sincere.
I'm completely lost.
Oh, well, I thought the goody-goody thing was an act, but you actually don't know. All right, I'll spell it out for you. I murdered Monsieur Grenouille. I saw him in the garden, all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. It is nothing personal, just business, you understand?
Business?
To increase my papa's share in the train company, of course. My papa always said that the drunk old frog was the weakest link.
Your confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found Baron Riguet's cigar butt hidden in the garden.
Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose that was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris's finest. But Falcon proved that Monsieur Rapino's photograph is edited. It was edited. I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to Monsieur Grenouille in the garden. My papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered Monsieur Rapino to paint me over Baron Riguet, to add hands to the clock. But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish altering either photograph by trial day. It's a good thing that Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly. What's with the silence? You both should be proud. There aren't many lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this, even for a bourgeois kitty like me. I think you should leave. Humph. Fine. So much for the celebrations. Here's the payment for your services straight from my papa's pockets. Well, adieu, Monsieur Falcon. Adieu, petite Separation. 30 francs. No, 40 francs. That's it. Falcon? What do we do now? Falcon? Alright, with the end of Act 1, and it's almost 5 o'clock, I think that's a good stopping point for now. I hope that was enjoyable to some degree. I hope the video feed was fine, because I was having some problems starting it off. Maybe sometime in the future we'll do another case of Aviary Attorney. I don't know. We'll see. But that probably won't be for another week or so. Alright, thanks for watching, and peace out.